Cute is when a person's personality shines through their looks. Like in the way they walk, every time you see them you just want to run up and hug them. I don't love studying. I hate studying. I like learning. Learning is beautiful. Smart women love smart men more than smart men love smart women. I don't mean to criticize anyone in any way that I wouldn't criticize myself. I think people should have fun, and have a good time, and enjoy the luck that we have to be lazy and dwell in consumerism. But I think that it's a balance. And our job as actors is empathy. I'm afraid of everything, but maybe when you're afraid of everything, it sort of seems like you're scared of nothing. I'm a Gemini, so I change my mind every day. I'm going to college. I don't care if it ruins my career. I'd rather be smart than a movie star. I always ask myself, would I want someone to do something that wasn't comfortable for them just to please me? And the answer is no. There's always pressure, from other people and yourself. If you're happy with the looks you're born with, then what are you going to do your whole life? We keep thinking up new things and finding better ways of doing things because we're not happy with what we're given. When a guy tells me I'm cute, it's not something desirable. Cute is more like what you want your pet to be. Jasmine is just the most delicate and beautiful scent. Going to a party, for me, is as much a learning experience as, sitting in a lecture. If you're an actress or a musician, everyone thinks you're hot. I get much more Jewish in Israel because I like the way that religion is done there. I always think the most romantic books or films are the ones where the romance doesn't happen, because it makes your heart ache so much watching it. It's always strange being a kid on the set, because you're treated like an equal when you're working. But then when you break, the other actors go back to their trailers to take naps and drink beer, and I have to, go do school. I usually dress very casual. Whenever I go out with my friends, I'm always like, can't I just wear sweatpants? Breast implants gross me out. I don't think they're attractive at all. My dad's a doctor, and when I was 8, I went to one of his medical conferences where they were demonstrating laser surgery on a chicken. I was so mad that a chicken had to die. I never ate meat again. I want every version of a woman and a man to be possible. I want women and men to be able to be full-time parents or full-time working people or any combination of the two. I think school is so much harder than real life. People are so much more accepting when they are adults. A movie about a weak, vulnerable woman can be feminist if it shows a real person that we can empathize with. New York is more where art is bought than where art is made. I'm always on the phone because I'm usually not with the people I want to be with. There's so much else to do in the world. To just be interested in doing films would limit my life. I'm not convinced about marriage. Divorce is so easy, and that fact that gay people are not allowed to marry takes much of the meaning out of it. Committing yourself to one person is sacred. I think all girls in the world wish they were a Parisian girl, that sort of effortless chic confidence and comfort in their own skin. I loved school so much that most of my classmates considered me a dork. I was definitely different from the other kids. I was more ambitious. I knew what I liked and what I wanted, and I worked really hard. I was a very serious kid. I remember how to be a person by being around them. Where I live, nobody who's 14 is having sex and doing major drugs. And I think if you see it in the movies, you may be influenced by it. I think it's so important to preserve your innocence. Well, right now, I'm very fascinated with 1920s Berlin. I mean, probably the more interesting thing would be to go to the beginning of civilization or pre-civilization, like polytheistic times. It would be interesting to see what came before modern religion and culture, what circumstances created the environment or the need for it. I grew up in the classic American Jewish suburbia, which has a whole different sense of what it means to be Jewish than anywhere else in the world. When I was in nursery school, the teachers asked me, what does your dad do for a living? So I said, he helps women get pregnant. They called my mom and they were like, what exactly does your husband do? I don't know if acting is what I want to do for the rest of my life. It's just what I've, ended up doing when I was little, and I've kinda grown up with it. Obviously it's much easier to say that you're going to follow your passions when you're financially secure, but at least we can take solace in the fact that we now have the time to pursue the things that we really want to pursue because now the option of doing things just for the money isn't necessarily there. I love being a mom, but it's much more intensive work than being an actress, going to work feels like you've got a day off. Not that I want a day off from being a mum, it's just perhaps I had this impression before that mums don't work, but they work more than anyone. I've stood up to producers before, and even a director. I saw them being abusive. A lot of people on the set are scared to say stuff when they're not being treated right. I am not someone who sacrifice all for the cinema, my life will be always more important. Everyone dreams of living in Paris. I don't have a normal job, so I really appreciate having friends who are writers and artists. It's fun to have a group of people you can call in the middle of the day to go for a hike. I like acting for now, but after seeing Apollo 13, what I really want to do is to be an astronaut. I'm dying to go to a space camp next summer. I was really excited to get to shave my head. It's something I'd wanted to do for a while and now I had a good excuse. It was nice to shed that level of vanity. 90% of how you learn is watching great people. When you are surrounded by good actors, it lifts your performance. I tend to lean towards strong female stories. I want to make things that don't already exist out there. Young actors often don't think of the consequences of doing nudity or sex scenes. They want the roles so badly that they agree to be exploited, and then end up embarrassing family, friends, and even strangers. I love milk so much. I make a point of drinking a glass of milk every day, so now anyone who did those milk ads with the milk mustaches, they're my heroes. I don't think I've ever been in love, I'm sure I will be someday. I've had enormous crushes, although I've never been into the Brad Pitt thing. I'd like it if people thought I was Jewish looking. I don't know who would not classify themselves as a romantic. I think that would be sort of sad. Visit our website for more quotes, quoting.com.